When most people think of China, they think crowded streets and skyscrapers, but what you're about to see is something completely different. Surprising, immersive, and full of lessons for anyone thinking about living abroad. My friend Edu spent 4.5 years living in China, so he's about to show you what life is really like there. Take it away, Edu.
Hello everyone from Gringo Nation. My name is Adu and I spent the last 4.5 years living in China. So today I'll be talking a bit about my experience living there and also why you should consider living in China. One of the first things that I noticed when I arrived in China is the ancient culture that is everywhere. So you can practice Kung Fu, for example, but you can also go to parks and you see old people, young people practicing Tai Chi. You can also experience the tea drinking culture. I was not a fan of tea before going to China, but then there I started to learn about the tea drinking culture. Also traditional Chinese medicine. So you got cupping, for example, and you got acupuncture and all those traditional treatments there. So in China, you can go to Buddhist temples in any city, I think. You got at least one Buddhist temple. They're beautiful, very peaceful. So you can enjoy that ancient culture when you go to China. Now the food. I know you might be thinking oh, I know Chinese food. I eat it every other week or something. Well, we have Western Chinese food, okay? But when you get to China, it's a whole different story. Of course, the food that we eat in the West or in other countries outside China is similar to the Cantonese cuisine, which is a cuisine around the Guangzhou area. It's delicious and it's very similar to the one that they have in China. However, Chinese cuisine is huge. There are I think 8 different cuisines in the country. So I love eating the Chinese food, the barbecue. Oh, I used to go to barbecue places at 1, 2 in the morning and just eat barbecue. Hot pot is also very popular. You can find it anywhere in China. The dumplings, the steamed buns called baozi, and you can find all of these dishes in most cities. But of course, depending where you are in China, then you're gonna have a different cuisine. But it's definitely a must try in China. As soon as you get there, try everything you can because the food in China is amazing. Compared to Western European countries and also North America, Australia, Japan, the cost of living in China is very, very low. So what you get paid is more than enough for your basic costs every day, but also it's very good for you to save. So in my last 2 years in China, I was able to save almost 60 to 70% of my income. So it's very nice if you want to go there, enjoy the country, the culture, travel a bit around, but also save money at the end of the day. One of the things I was really scared before going to China was the fact that I didn't know the language. I still don't know much of the language, but of course I can communicate the basics and stuff. But when I got there, I was worried about that because I was how can I speak to them if I know that many Chinese people don't speak English, especially where I lived was in a very small city. So I knew that. But then the people are so welcoming and friendly, you have no idea. If you go to a bigger city, then of course there are expats everywhere. But when you go to smaller cities, then maybe there are not many expats, not many foreigners around, but still the Chinese will try their best with apps, with gestures. They'll try to speak a bit of English, and you also will try to use a bit of the words that you know and use a translation app, whatever, but they're extremely friendly. My students were amazing, my co-workers, and the people just that I met on the street, that I just said hi and how are you, and they're curious to know about foreigners. So that's definitely a highlight about living in China. It's extremely easy and cheap to travel around China. The railway system is just crazy. I've never seen anything like that before. Also, there are high-speed trains, which can reach, I think, up to 300 kilometers per hour. So you can travel long distance, and it won't take so much time. And it's also quite affordable. Also, if you want to go fly to other cities there, 1 hour flight, 2 hour flights, it's also quite affordable because there are many different airline companies. So it's very easy to go to China and then on your holiday, on the national holidays that they have, maybe it's a 3-day holiday, it's very easy just to take the train and go somewhere else to see the country. There are a lot of opportunities for professional growth in China. So let's say that you go there with your work visa, you apply for the job, and then you get there in China. And then once you're there, it's easier for you to move to another city, get a high-paying job, and just change, maybe you're working at a training center, now you want to work at a university. There's so many different opportunities there. It's excellent for professional growth. One of the things that shocked me in China was how safe it is. I had no idea that China was such a safe country, you know? And I'm saying this not only comparing it to Brazil, my home country, but also I have many friends from like England, Spain, the US, saying how safe it is even compared to their countries. So you don't have to worry about that when you're living in China at all. Now, if you're a fan of online shopping and perhaps you shop for like Amazon, for example, or AliExpress, well, you're gonna love living in China. Online shopping there is super easy and it's super cheap because, I mean, most products in the world are made in China. So it's very easy to buy online, even though the app, the most common app is Taobao. Even though it is in Chinese, it's super easy. It's delivery fee, like the shipping fee, like it's sometimes you usually don't pay for it, or if you pay, it's not much. And there's a huge variety of products as well, and it's gonna get to your place super fast. So that's definitely a must about living in China. Many Chinese cities have flights to other cities in Asia. So I'm not only talking about the biggest cities here, like Nanchang, where I lived as well, was an average sized city. And there are flights there to Thailand, Vietnam, the Philippines, Malaysia, Singapore. So it's also very easy to travel around Asia and explore other Asian countries because there are so many different options of flights, even from smaller cities. And last but not least, one of the best things about living in China are the benefits you get working there. So some people could get, for example, a bonus at the end of their contract or a renewal bonus if they decided to stay longer at the school. I never paid for rent in the 4.5 years I lived there, and I lived in very nice, comfortable apartments. They were all provided by the school. Also, I got flight reimbursement back to my country, so there was a one round trip flight every year. Some people get a lot of days off, apart from the national holidays. So if you work for a university, sometimes you can get like 2 months off a year. I got 6 weeks off every summer on top of all the national holidays. So it's great to go explore the country and also travel around Asia. It's definitely one of the best things about working in China. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you want to watch more videos about life in China, then make sure to check out my channel, Ready Go Expat. I'll see you next time.